Let's talk some Golden State Warriors rumors here on Chat Sports. Chase and Harrison with you. How about Kristaps Porzingis? This trade rumor is recirculating. There was some buzz around him back in February. Oh, maybe the Mavs are going to trade him. Maybe the Warriors could make some sense. Well, now there's a report coming out that the Warriors may take a swing at him this offseason, which would be very fascinating, Chase.
According to an anonymous NBA executive, the Dallas Mavericks were shopping Kristaps Porzingis around and leading up to the NBA trade deadline.
By the way, a lot of conflicting reports there.
A lot of conflicting reports. But this is what you do know. Kristaps Porzingis, when he's healthy, really, really good player. And I know he's dealt with a lot of injury concerns throughout his career, especially with his lower body. And for a guy who's 7+ feet tall, that never
it's always going to be a
good thing, right?
Yep.
But I will say this. I think the Warriors, they, at the NBA trade deadline, kind of punted a little bit, right? So I think they're looking ahead to next year, and maybe Kristaps Porzingis could be the guy that they're looking at next year when Klay Thompson comes back to get the crew back together, couple of additions, and make a run at another NBA title.
It's interesting to think about. I will say that's really on both sides of the thing. One's for Dallas, who sent a lot of draft capital to the Knicks, a couple of first-round picks to bring him in here, but also Golden State, that would be kind of a different type of piece than what they've been used to during, this championship stretch. Obviously, the last year and a half, injuries have taken them out of that, but they were, guard. We're just going to shoot you out of the gym. Now, KP can shoot, but you get a legit 7-footer in there who can protect the rim as well as run the floor. That gives them a different look offensively, which is very, very fascinating in my opinion. Here's what that anonymous executive had to say. The Mavericks are more than open to trading Kristaps Porzingis. They listened to a lot of offers ahead of the deadline, and he will be available this offseason for the right price as well. A team like the Golden State Warriors, who showed interest in him at the deadline, are expected to continue that pursuit this offseason. That would be interesting if that is actually true. I'm not convinced the Mavs heavily shopped him, but I think this playoff run will tell a lot if KP can stay healthy or a lot. I think it became pretty obvious, and to your point, is that the Warriors, they just kind of sold at the deadline. They didn't end up buying.
Yeah, over the last several months, think about the players that the Warriors were tied to. We're talking Bradley Beal. We're talking Aaron Gordon, Kristaps Porzingis. There were a lot of rumors out there that they were going to trade Kelly Oubre. They didn't. They traded away Bradley Wanamaker and Marquise Chris. Those were the only moves that the Warriors made on NBA trade deadline day. And for a team that's been under 500 or hovering around 500, by them not making a move, I think Bob Myers told everybody, we're selling.
Yep.
Now, it wasn't a blatant sell, but I do think the Warriors secretly sold at the NBA trade deadline because they look at the roster right now. They see Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and a bunch of other dudes. James Wiseman is going to be good eventually, but we need another piece.
Yep.
And by not going out to acquire one of those other pieces, I think Bob Myers realized the roster simply is not good enough. You get Klay Thompson back with Steph and Draymond, and you add a guy like Kristaps Porzingis, you're in that conversation once again.
I truly believe, I don't know if KP will be the guy, but Golden State is going to be hyper-aggressive this offseason. If they get a good bill of health from Klay and feel good about him going into next year, look for them to make a big move. Maybe they move a guy like Andrew Wiggins in that Timberwolves pick, which is a very, very valuable, especially with this the next couple of drafts. Should the Warriors trade for Kristaps Porzingis this offseason? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Go ahead and get your votes in on that one. If healthy, Kristaps is the guy they would be getting. This is a legitimate 20-10 guy who has unlimited range. He can score everywhere on the floor, Chase. He's a good rim protector as well. You pair him with those guards and wings like Steph and Klay, and maybe Draymond still sticks around as well. That's an interesting 3 or 4 player rotation right there.
Yeah, and piggybacking off the point that you made earlier, the Warriors have been so guard-centric, and I'm going to throw Kevin Durant in that category too because, he's a small forward, but he plays like a 7-foot guard. They, other than DeMarcus Cousins, haven't had a superstar big, and DeMarcus Cousins wasn't that guy. So you think about Porzingis and adding him to Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, that is a fascinating dynamic because they haven't had a guy who can stretch the floor but also play down low like Porzingis, and I like the wrinkle that he gives to this team. My question would be, where does that leave James Wiseman, or is James Wiseman the piece that you move for KP?
It could either be that, or it could be Porzingis plays some 4. He likes playing 4. He's played it in the past. I think in today's game he's better suited as a stretch 5, just because that's where the league is
He's
going.
difficult to guard there.
But you could mix and match there. Maybe Wiseman is a 26 minutes off the bench energy type of guy, and we know with Porzingis, if you get him, there's going to be load management there. That's just the way that's going to go. So I think you can mix and match. I would trust Steve Kerr to figure out how to do that. This will be something to monitor this offseason. Even if it's not Porzingis, I really do believe that Bob Myers, Steve Kerr, and this roster, knowing that Steph's getting another year older, they're going to be really, really aggressive in trying to upgrade this roster this offseason. They sold at the deadline. They basically said, we're not good enough right now. We get Clay healthy, get a guy like KP in here, we could chase a title in 2022. For you Warriors fans, we've partnered up with the Newsbreak app, and we encourage you guys to download it at chatsports.com/WarriorsNB. Chase is a huge fan of this app. Why don't you tell him why?
It's one of the best apps on my phone. I use it every single day, so go to chatsports.com/WarriorsNB. Look, obviously I love basketball. I love the Warriors. I love talking sports, but I have interests beyond that. I like to stay up to date and refreshed because I'm a well-rounded, versatile dude, right? So I'm talking crime, weather, pop culture.
You're like Draymond.
Entertainment.
Very versatile.
Hey, I'm like Draymond Green. I have versatility to my life, and the Newsbreak app brings versatility to my life in terms of just being knowledgeable about a bunch of different topics, because this is what the Newsbreak app gives you. Local news and weather, politics, pop culture, food, and entertainment. If you love the Dubs, you can stay up to date with Warriors content on the Newsbreak app. And moving off of that, here's great news too, because Warriors Today by Chat Sports has its own page on the Newsbreak app. So the latest news and rumors, playoff news, any trades or signings like Jordan Poole yesterday. We brought you a video. So hey, chatsports.com/WarriorsNB, and on your iPhone or Android, that is when you download the app. You'll be in a much better spot, and you'll be that dude at the party who knows everything that's going on in your neighborhood or around the world.
Downloading this app supports the show, and it keeps you up to date with everything surrounding the Warriors and local stories in your neighborhood and your communities. Chatsports.com/WarriorsNB. The Golden State Warriors and ESPN's mock draft take. I'm going to try and pronounce this right. Alperen Sengun out of, correct me here, Chase.
Yeah, he plays for Besiktas in the Turkish Super League.
Yes.
And Alperen Sengun is a really intriguing prospect. Now, I don't know why Mike Schmitz and Jonathan Givony had him going to the Golden State Warriors, especially with the Kristaps Porzingis rumors out there. You already have James Wiseman. But what he is as a prospect, he's a pretty good athlete. He can pass the ball really creatively out of the post. He takes less than a three-point attempt per night. But his numbers this year, pretty impressive in the Turkish Super League, which does have a lot of legitimate talent. 19-plus points per game, 9-plus rebounds. He's active defensively as well. I think there's room for him to grow in terms of the physicality and his body. He does need to get much stronger, but he can run the floor really well. I like his passing ability too. And hey, I don't care if you're playing overseas in the Turkish Super League or what. He's shooting almost 64% from the floor. That's very effective. My main concern with him, it's his body. He definitely needs to get stronger because in the NBA, when you have to bang bodies down low with some legit centers like Embiid or like Bam Adebayo, you have to be able to take that physical pounding.
I'm kind of with you. A interesting fit for Golden State to go ahead and draft another big 2 years in a row. I don't really quite get this pick from Givony and Schmitz here, but that's who they have going to Golden State in ESPN's mock draft. The order will change, the mocks will change, the scouting reports will evolve. Obviously, things can change over time, but this will be a fascinating one to follow as we get closer and closer to draft time. And hey, remember, Golden State also has that Timberwolves lottery pick. So as of now, based on the mocks and the draft order, they don't have that pick, but based on how the ping pong balls bounce, you never know.
And it's top 3 protected. Can you imagine if that pick falls outside of the top 3 and the Warriors are picking at 4? You talk about their struggles this year. That could change if they get number 4.
So Sengun to Golden State at number 15. He comes after these 4 prospects just before Golden State and ESPN's mock draft.